You can reach the top of the world, have everything you ever dreamed of, but if you're not at peace within yourself, it will still feel like you're falling. You can achieve everything you've ever dreamed of, wealth, recognition, status, and still feel completely empty inside. That's the truth no one tells you about success. Society sells us this idea that if you work hard enough, achieve enough, and gather enough external validation, you'll finally feel whole. But that's not how it works. External success can dress up your life, make it look appealing from the outside, but it can't fill the emptiness within you. You can have everything, and yet it can all feel meaningless when there's no peace inside. Think about it. How many people have you seen who seemingly have it all, but are miserable behind closed doors? Celebrities, CEOs, and public figures who appear to have reached the pinnacle of success, only to spiral into depression, addiction, or self-destruction. Why? Because success without peace is like pouring water into a broken vase. It will never be enough to make you feel full. The problem isn't the success itself. Success can be rewarding, but when you expect it to solve the internal chaos you carry, it will always disappoint you. When you build your life around external success, you're constantly chasing the next high, the next promotion, the next financial milestone, the next award. And for a brief moment, when you reach it, you might feel a rush of satisfaction, but it fades quickly. Then you're left needing the next achievement to recreate that feeling. It becomes a cycle, an exhausting, never-ending loop where you are always one step away from feeling enough. That's because external success doesn't address the real issue. It doesn't quiet the inner unrest. True peace isn't about what you achieve. It's about how you feel within yourself, regardless of what you achieve. External success can enhance your life, but it can't define it. When your sense of identity and worth are tied to success, you give the world power over your peace. If you lose the job, if the business fails, if the recognition fades, you crumble. Because when you've built your sense of self on something external, it only takes one setback to make you feel like you've lost everything. That's why you see people who seem to have it all suddenly fall apart when things don't go their way. Success was holding them up, and when that success was taken away, they had nothing to stand on. You might think that more success will solve the problem, but it won't. No amount of money, status, or validation can fill the void that only inner peace can. Peace comes from knowing that you are enough, not because of what you've accomplished, but because of who you are. When you chase success as a way to feel whole, you are putting a band-aid on a deeper wound. You don't need more success. You need to create a foundation of peace that remains steady whether you succeed or fail. Success can't protect you from yourself. You can reach the top and still feel like you're at the bottom, because the problem was never a lack of success, it was a lack of inner alignment. Peace is what allows you to enjoy success without needing it to define you. It's what makes success feel meaningful rather than hollow. When you are at peace with yourself, success becomes a bonus, not a necessity. You can pursue it with passion, but you are no longer dependent on it for your happiness or identity. When you have peace, success enhances your life without controlling it. You can win without letting it inflate your ego. You can fail without letting it destroy your self-worth. That's the power of peace. It gives you stability in a world that constantly shifts. Success is unpredictable, it comes and goes, but peace is something you can carry with you regardless of the circumstances. It creates a sense of internal security that no amount of money or recognition can provide. You might think that success will finally give you the peace you're looking for, but it's the other way around. Peace is what allows you to enjoy success fully. When you're grounded internally, you no longer need to achieve more to feel whole. You are already whole. Success becomes a reflection of your growth, not a measure of your value. That's the difference. Success without peace is fragile. It's like building a house on sand. It looks good until the storm comes. But peace is like building that house on rock. It stands firm regardless of the conditions. So if you've been chasing success, hoping it will finally make you feel complete, stop. Success can't give you peace. Peace is an internal state that you cultivate from within. It's what allows you to experience success without fear, without attachment, and without losing yourself in the process. Don't make the mistake of believing that more success will solve the problem. Find peace first, because once you have that, you'll realize that success was never the goal. Fulfillment was. Chasing success without peace is like running on a treadmill that never stops. You're constantly moving, but you're never arriving. You might think that once you reach a certain level of success, you'll finally be able to relax. That once you hit that financial target, land that dream job, or gain the recognition you've been working toward, the anxiety will fade. But it doesn't work that way. When you're chasing success without peace, the target always moves. No matter how much you achieve, there's always another level, another milestone, another reason to keep pushing, and that endless cycle creates a constant undercurrent of anxiety that you can't escape. It's easy to believe that success will bring you peace. That's what we're taught. From a young age, we're told that life is about working hard, achieving goals, and being the best. Society celebrates accomplishment. It rewards those who rise to the top, so you grind. You sacrifice. You tell yourself that the sleepless nights, the stress, the pressure, it's all worth it because once you get there, you'll finally feel free. But what happens when you get there and nothing changes? What happens when you achieve everything you set out to achieve and you still feel restless? That's when the panic sets in. That's when you realize that success wasn't the solution. It was a distraction from the deeper problem. When you tie your sense of peace to success, you are putting your emotional stability in the hands of circumstances you can't control. If success comes, you feel a temporary high, but that high is fragile. The moment things shift, the moment you face a setback, that sense of peace disappears. You become trapped in a pattern of emotional highs and lows, constantly needing to win to feel okay. That's why success without peace creates anxiety. It makes you feel like you're standing on shaky ground, always one mistake away from losing it all. You might think that the answer is to work harder, to push through the fear, the stress, the exhaustion, because the next win will surely fix it. But it never does. The anxiety grows because you've made success the source of your identity and value, and when you make success your foundation, it breeds insecurity. You become afraid to fail, afraid to lose what you've built, afraid that if you stop moving for even a moment, it will all come crashing down. Success becomes a prison rather than a reward. You see this pattern everywhere. People at the top of their game who can't stop working because they're terrified of losing their edge. Entrepreneurs who reach financial independence but can't stop chasing the next deal because standing still feels like falling behind. Celebrities who seem to have it all but spiral into addiction or self-destruction because the pressure to maintain success becomes unbearable. Why does this happen? Because success without peace is hollow. It creates a fragile sense of security that can be taken away at any moment. That's where the anxiety comes from, the constant fear that it's not enough, that you're not enough, that you need to keep proving yourself to maintain the illusion of worthiness. The truth is, success was never meant to give you peace. Success is an external event. Peace is an internal state. When you expect success to calm the storm inside you, you give it power over your emotional state. That's why you feel anxious even when things are going well, because deep down you know that success is temporary. It's a wave that can rise and fall at any moment. And if your peace is tied to that wave, you will always feel unstable. When you chase success without peace, you create a life built on fear. Fear of losing, fear of failure, fear of not measuring up. That's why so many high achievers feel like imposters, even when they've proven themselves. They're afraid that one wrong move will expose them, that they'll lose everything they worked for. Success becomes survival, not fulfillment. And living that way isn't freedom. It's bondage. Peace is what allows you to pursue success without being ruled by it. It's what lets you work toward your goals without attaching your self-worth to the outcome. When you have peace, success becomes an experience, not an identity. You can win without letting it define you. You can fail without letting it destroy you. Peace gives you the freedom to pursue success from a place of purpose rather than desperation. It lets you show up fully, not because you need to prove something, but because you are already whole. If you've been chasing success hoping it will give you peace, stop. It won't. Peace is not something you find at the end of the road. It's something you cultivate along the way. Success without peace creates anxiety because it places your value in the hands of something you cannot control. But peace gives you the strength to handle both the wins and the losses without losing yourself in the process. That's the difference between building a life and just surviving one. Success without inner peace feels empty because it lacks meaning. You can have all the accolades, the financial security, and the admiration of others, but without a sense of internal grounding, it feels hollow. Success on its own is just a metric, a number in a bank account, a trophy on a shelf, a title next to your name. It might impress others. It might make you feel validated for a moment, but that feeling fades quickly when there's nothing deeper holding it together. Inner peace is what gives success meaning. It's the foundation that allows you to enjoy success without feeling like you're constantly on edge or chasing the next thing. When you're at peace within yourself, success becomes a reflection of your growth rather than a measure of your worth. You stop looking at success as a way to prove yourself and start seeing it as an expression of the person you've become. You're no longer chasing success to fill a void. You're allowing success to be an extension of the peace you've already built. That's why peace gives success meaning. When you have peace, success becomes a gift rather than a requirement. You're not obsessed with needing to win because you already feel whole. Success becomes something you experience rather than something you cling to. Many people achieve success and still feel restless because they expect success to solve an internal problem. They think that if they just reach that next level, they'll finally feel calm. But success can't fix what's broken inside you. It can distract you for a while. It can make you feel validated temporarily, but the moment the applause fades, you're left alone with yourself. And if you haven't built peace within, success only amplifies the emptiness. That's why you see so many high achievers struggling with depression and burnout. Outwardly they have everything, but inwardly they feel lost because they built their lives on achievement rather than alignment. Inner peace gives you the ability to enjoy success without being defined by it. When you have peace, success doesn't control you. You can win without becoming arrogant. You can lose without feeling like a failure. Peace creates emotional stability. It allows you to stand firm whether you're at the top of the mountain or starting over at the bottom. Success feels different when it's built on peace. Instead of feeling like you need to hold on to it with a death grip, you can appreciate it, knowing that your worth isn't tied to it. Think about the difference between achieving success from a place of peace versus a place of fear. When you're at peace, success becomes an outcome rather than a necessity. You can take risks without being terrified of failure because you know that your value isn't dependent on the outcome. You're not trying to prove anything. You're just expressing who you are. But when you're not at peace, success becomes a form of survival. You need to win because losing feels like personal failure. You need recognition because without it you feel invisible. That's why success without peace feels fragile. It's built on the need for constant validation rather than internal strength. Peace allows you to approach success with confidence rather than desperation. It gives you the ability to walk away from situations that aren't aligned with you, even if they look impressive on the outside. When you have peace, you don't need success to feel valuable. That's why people with true inner peace are often the most grounded and effective leaders. They're not trying to dominate or prove anything. They lead from a place of authenticity because they know who they are, with or without the title, the paycheck. That inner stability makes them more resilient, more creative, and more effective. Success is temporary, but peace is permanent. You can lose success overnight, a failed business, a job layoff, a downturn in the market, but if you have peace, you remain steady. You don't spiral when things go wrong, because your identity isn't attached to your success. You know that you can rebuild because your foundation isn't dependent on circumstance. That's why peace gives success meaning. It allows you to enjoy success without fearing its loss. You're not terrified of things falling apart because you know that your worth isn't tied to the outcome. Peace allows you to savor success. When you're at peace, you're able to celebrate your wins without immediately feeling the pressure to chase the next one. You're not thinking, "What's next?" You're able to sit with your success and appreciate it fully. That's where fulfillment comes from. Not just from achieving success, but from being present enough to feel it. Peace slows you down in the best way. It allows you to breathe, to reflect, to be grateful. Success becomes more satisfying because you're not rushing through it. You're grounded enough to enjoy it. Most people chase success because they think it will bring them peace. But peace is what makes success meaningful. Peace allows you to work toward your goals from a place of strength rather than fear. It lets you take risks without feeling like failure will destroy you. It allows you to celebrate your wins without becoming dependent on them. When you have peace, success becomes a reward, not a requirement. It becomes something you get to experience, not something you need to survive. That's the difference between success that satisfies and success that leaves you feeling empty. Confidence built on external validation is fragile. It's the kind of confidence that looks solid from the outside but crumbles the moment things don't go your way. When you rely on other people's approval to feel valuable, you become a prisoner to their opinions. You feel good when people praise you, but the moment they criticize you or stop noticing you, your confidence evaporates. That's because it wasn't real confidence. It was borrowed from other people's approval. True confidence doesn't come from how others see you. It comes from how you see yourself. And that can only be built from inner peace. When you have inner peace, you stop looking for validation from the outside world. You stop needing people to tell you that you're enough, because you already know it. Your confidence becomes unshakable because it's not based on circumstances, it's based on self-acceptance. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone because you already feel whole. That's what makes peace so powerful. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of trying to meet everyone's expectations. You stop asking, "Am I good enough?" and start realizing that you already are. Most people confuse confidence with arrogance. Arrogance is loud. It's performative. It's the need to dominate a room or make others feel small to feel powerful. But true confidence is quiet. It's not about needing to be seen. It's about being comfortable even when no one is watching. When you have peace, you don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to seek attention or prove that you belong. You know who you are, and that's enough. Confidence rooted in peace allows you to walk into any room without feeling the need to compete. You don't need to be the loudest person or the smartest person. You're comfortable just being yourself, and that authenticity is what makes people respect you. Without inner peace, confidence becomes a performance. You might appear confident, but underneath the surface, there's anxiety and insecurity. You need to be seen as successful because without that recognition, you feel invisible. You need to be admired because without admiration, you feel worthless. That's why so many people who appear confident are secretly battling anxiety and self-doubt. Their confidence is tied to things they can't control: other people's opinions, professional success, social status. The moment those things shift, their confidence collapses because it was built on a weak foundation. But when you have inner peace, your confidence isn't dependent on circumstances. You can fail without feeling like a failure. You can succeed without becoming defined by your success. You become steady because your sense of self-worth isn't attached to outcomes. That's why people with inner peace tend to have a different presence. They're not desperate for attention. They're not chasing recognition. They show up with quiet strength because they're not trying to be anyone else. They're comfortable in their own skin, and that's the kind of confidence that people respect. Peace gives you the courage to be yourself. When you have peace, you don't need to mold yourself to fit other people's expectations. You don't need to adjust who you are to make other people comfortable. You show up as you are, knowing that you are enough. That's real confidence. And the irony is that the less you try to impress people, the more people respect you. Confidence from peace allows you to detach from the outcome. You can take risks without being paralyzed by the fear of failure, because you know that your value doesn't depend on winning. You can walk away from situations that aren't aligned with you without feeling like you've lost something. That's why true confidence looks like quiet strength. It's not reactive, it's grounded. When your confidence comes from inner peace, rejection stops feeling personal. If someone criticizes you or overlooks you, it doesn't shake you because you're not relying on them to feel whole. You stop trying to control how people see you because you realize that their opinion of you is not your responsibility. You don't need to be liked by everyone because you're already at peace with yourself. That's the difference between fragile confidence and real confidence. When you have peace, you stop chasing approval and start living authentically. Peace allows you to stand tall, even when things don't go your way. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop apologizing for who you are. You stop explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to understand you. That's confidence, not because you're better than anyone else, but because you've made peace with yourself. You trust your own judgment. You know that you'll be okay even if things fall apart. That's why people with inner peace seem so steady. They're not clinging to success or recognition because they've already built their foundation internally. Confidence without peace is temporary. It's exhausting because it requires constant validation to maintain. But confidence from peace is permanent. It allows you to move through life with calm strength. You're not easily shaken by setbacks or criticism because you've built your confidence on something that can't be taken away. That's why peace creates lasting confidence. It's not something you have to chase or perform. It's something you become. True confidence isn't about being the most impressive person in the room. It's about walking into any situation knowing that you're enough, even if you fail, even if you're overlooked, even if things don't go as planned. That's the kind of confidence that lasts. And it only comes from inner peace. Fulfillment isn't found in the things you accomplish. It's found in the peace you carry within yourself. That's why so many people who seem to have everything still feel empty. They've climbed the ladder, reached the top, and realized that the view isn't what they expected. The job, the house, the recognition. It all feels temporary because it is. Achievements give you a brief sense of satisfaction, but that feeling fades. What's left when the applause dies down? What's left when the excitement wears off? If you haven't built inner peace, the answer is often emptiness. That's the mistake so many people make. They assume that fulfillment comes from achieving more. They think that once they reach a certain milestone or hit a certain goal, they'll finally feel whole. But it doesn't work that way. Achievements are like a drug. They give you a temporary high, but that feeling fades quickly. The moment you accomplish something, your mind immediately starts searching for the next goal, the next achievement, the next fix. That's why people who seem successful on the outside are often restless and anxious underneath the surface. They've become trapped in a cycle of chasing the next thing because they think fulfillment lives on the other side of success. But it doesn't. Fulfillment comes from peace. When you have inner peace, you stop needing achievements to feel valuable. You no longer feel like you have to prove yourself through success because you already feel enough. That doesn't mean you stop working hard or pursuing goals. It means you detach your sense of self-worth from the outcome. You can give your best effort without feeling like your identity is tied to whether you succeed or fail. That's real freedom. You stop chasing success as a way to feel whole because you already feel whole within yourself. You start to see success not as a way to fill a void, but as an expression of who you already are. People often confuse fulfillment with excitement. Excitement is temporary. It's the rush you feel when you win an award, land a big opportunity, or get recognition from others. But excitement fades. Fulfillment, on the other hand, is steady. It's not loud, it's quiet and grounded. It's the feeling of knowing you're enough, even when you're not achieving. It's the sense of contentment that doesn't depend on circumstances. That's why peace is the foundation for fulfillment. Without peace, every success feels fleeting. You experience a quick burst of happiness, but then you're left searching for the next thing to keep you going. When you build your life on inner peace, fulfillment becomes a way of being, not something you need to chase. You stop measuring your life by how much you've accomplished and start measuring it by how much peace you feel. That shift changes everything. You stop comparing yourself to others because you realize that their path has nothing to do with yours. You stop feeling like you're falling behind because you're no longer measuring your life based on external markers of success. You start valuing the quiet moments, the simple joys, the feeling of being present in your own life. That's real fulfillment, not because you've achieved something extraordinary, but because you've learned to be at peace with where you are. Achievements without peace feel hollow because there's always something more to chase. Even when you succeed, you don't feel satisfied because your mind immediately moves to the next thing. But when you have peace, you don't need success to feel whole. You can enjoy success without becoming attached to it. You can appreciate recognition without needing it to feel valuable. That's why fulfillment from peace lasts. It's not tied to things you can't control. Your sense of worth becomes independent of circumstances. Whether you win or lose, succeed or fail, your inner foundation remains solid. Peace allows you to enjoy success without becoming consumed by it. You stop needing to prove yourself through achievement because you've already accepted yourself. That creates a deeper sense of fulfillment because you're no longer trying to fill a void with external accomplishments. You work hard not because you need success to feel valuable, but because you want to express your full potential. And that's a powerful shift. When you stop working from a place of lack and start working from a place of peace, everything changes. You stop feeling like you have to achieve to be enough. You start achieving because you already feel enough. That's why fulfillment from peace is so steady. It's not tied to outcomes. It's rooted in who you are. The truth is, achievements are temporary. The promotion, the recognition, the award, They all fade eventually, but peace stays. When you build your life on peace, you experience fulfillment that doesn't fade when circumstances change. You're no longer chasing happiness through success because you've already found fulfillment in the quiet confidence that comes from peace. Success becomes a byproduct, not a requirement. You stop needing to win to feel worthy. You stop fearing failure because you know it doesn't define you. You become free to live, to try, to explore, not because you need to prove anything, but because you've already made peace with who you are. That's why peace creates lasting fulfillment. Success without peace is a moving target. You might hit it, but it will always shift. But when you have peace, fulfillment becomes constant. You stop chasing the next thing and start finding joy in the present moment. You start to realize that fulfillment isn't something you achieve, it's something you embody, and it starts with peace. Success without peace is an illusion, but when you find peace within, even the smallest victories will feel like enough.